apparently there's new leaks, which are really old leaks, about Shedeur Sanders' draft fall. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but let's go through it real quick. So let's hear it.
Saw that it was made publicly recently. The reason the Raiders did not draft Shedeur is because Shedeur was making fun of Tom Brady getting cheated on and left by his wife in an interview with another team, and that got back to Brady, his mentor. And that's why his the dude Bug or whatever on Twitter, that's why he went on a Cleveland interview after the draft and said Tom Brady and Shedeur probably never talk again. Everything they did, something that because I.
So, this is T-Cal. This is a guy who's been very closely associated with Colorado. He's like a Colorado fan who likes making fun of Colorado. But hey, nothing wrong with that. Do what you do. And then here is buffed prime T-Cal. I don't know, I don't know what to say. And then here he is referencing where he got it. Well, not where he got it from, but the fact that Skip Bayless also apparently reported this.
This is another one of those inside stories that got passed around that doomed Shedeur to the 5th round. It was something about during the interview, they had a couple, but during one of the interviews, somebody with the Giants, I don't know if it was executive or coach, asked Shedeur about you, Shedeur's relationship with you, the mentoring, teaching, coaching, and somebody asked some question about, is Tom your role model? Do you try to model your life after Tom's? And Shedeur said something like, well, I don't want to model myself after his wife left him for a trainer. And I don't even know if he said that, but I've heard it again and again from too many people. And I don't know if he was trying to be cool and tell a joke or make people laugh, or I don't know what it was, but I heard that doomed him with the Giants. Okay, fine.
And here's my thing, and I've covered a lot of the draft fall situation. My issue is that this always changed. It was at one point it was about playing, and then it was about off the field, and then it was about this and it was about that. If he did say this, that would be crazy. However, if you've been keeping up with the main channel, the Giants have been confirmed liars, especially Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll, obviously got fired. Went and got Jackson Dart, ran him into the ground, had a bunch of concussion with him, and got himself fired from the position, right? And then when he got fired, a bunch of things leaked about Brian Daboll and how he coaches and how he's a little bit immature for coaching in the NFL. So it's if we're gonna use the Giants as the source for anything, I would tell you there's a reason why certain lies are told on certain people, right? So I mean, you feel free to believe that. I find that hard to believe just because we know how Shedeur speaks, and we're gonna listen to him talk about it. I don't see that. Now, what I do see, because I'm someone I believe in Occam's razor. Do you know what I do think probably happened? I do probably think because Shedor's a very unique type of dude, right? He's not how you say. He kind of has his own vibe. I think probably what happened, and this has literally been my whole thing. I think because Shedeur answers questions kind of weird, I think maybe he said a joke and that people took like to 10 type beat. You feel what I'm saying? I'm sure he said something like a lighter joke and they interpreted it as, oh, you saying that he got cheated on. I don't think that he would ever say that because he never says negative stuff. So that just wouldn't add up to me. And knowing who he is and knowing how he operates, it's hard for me to believe. I do believe he probably commented on, that. And I do believe maybe he tried to get a joke off and maybe it was an awkward joke. But I just don't believe that. Oh, actually, and here's another thing. Because, he went on to say, hey, they never talked again, XYZ. And that's what at least Buffed and T-Cal or whatever, Buffed and Prime T-Cal, he's saying like, oh, well, they never talked again. Well, I mean, if that's the case, and again, this could just be him. This could be him just, whatever, just being cool to the media. This is what Tom Brady said about falling in the draft.
What happened, Tom? Why did he go so late in the draft?
I mean, it's a good question. I wasn't a part of any evaluation process or
Skip Bayless says otherwise.
No. Well, everyone's got that's the problem with media is everyone can just say whatever the fuck they want. I actually texted Shedeur because I know him very well. And I said, dude, like whatever happens, wherever you go, like that's your first day. Day 2 matters more than the draft. I was 199.
Yeah.
So who could speak on it better than me? Like what that really means. Yeah. Use it as motivation. You're going to get your chances. Go take advantage of it.
So again, do you believe Skip Bayless? Do you believe Tom Brady? Do you believe Tom Brady would text or just lie about texting him, if he said some things like that? That's up to you to decide. I just think that Shedeur might rub people the wrong way and things get misinterpreted. And when you're playing the game of telephone, that is, people getting backwards sources of anonymous sources of other anonymous sources, the same people that said that he had his headphones out. I really can't believe anything coming from the Giants if y'all were the ones that said he was answering phone calls and what's it called, having his headphones playing music and all this other craziness that y'all said that he was doing. How am I supposed to take any of this seriously too? And I'm supposed to think that he did that and called out Tom Brady. Y'all really making it seem like he did everything possible to screw everything up. It's hard for me to believe that. But hey, if you believe it, let me know. Maybe if you believe people lying about it, let me know. But let's hear what Shedeur had to say, I think just a day ago or so, just speaking to the media in the Cleveland Browns.
Sure, is there anything specific that you kind of want to show in your final game this season?
We just stay consistent, taking what they give me. Whenever we get off rhythm, get back on rhythm, get back on track. And I think that's the next part of my game I'm trying to evolve is whenever it's either we're stagnant or some adversity comes, then being able to get back on track.
Do you feel like you've shown enough through your starts to prove to the league that you're a franchise quarterback, not just here, but anywhere?
No, I'm not. I can't think about what other people's opinion or what they view me as. I know, the teams that we go against, I know they definitely respect me in the passing game for sure. But I can't be accountable for somebody else's decisions.
Have the Browns given you good feedback along the way about just how much you're developing, the strides that you've been making? Are you getting just positive vibes from them?
Yeah, we keep everything in-house. We keep everything in-house here.
After the game, you talked about the throw to Jerry. You said you like to give your guys a chance. So when you go back and watch that film, is there a balance there? Just having maybe some situations it's okay to try that and some aren't. When you have that discussion with the coaches.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's just decisions within myself. I think things go different ways. Like if positive thing happen, it's like okay. But if negative thing happen, that's okay. But I gotta be able to take the proper necessary risk and. Even whenever you go through your progressions and the check down isn't there, then what? So that's kind of where I feel like the strides have been made from getting to the reads, getting through the reads, getting to the check down. Now the biggest jump I'll say for me is that I plan on showing and plan on improving is when there is no play and I can't get out of it, I can't run, what I'm gonna do with the ball.
And I really want to, call that into question because I think a lot of these things that people said, and again, I think a lot of them were lies or just people who were adding on sauce to maybe some, I really do think that Shedeur is just, he's very easily misunderstood. He answers questions in a very unique way. He doesn't answer them very straight. Like, sometimes he has he's got that prime in him. So sometimes he goes on like an analogy and stuff like that. I really do think when he does those things, people take that and they interpret it more. I think there's some saying about the more you say, the more you leave yourself up for people to interpret what they want to hear. If you say, this crazy long, the answer to how was your day, well then, somebody could take whatever they want from that. If you said, oh, what I'm saying, I dropped the vase, but I also won $1,000 and I did 2 backflips and stuff like that. Somebody can goes over here and says, hey, yo, he dropped the vase yesterday. Yeah, he was just throwing people's vases around. Like you see how I see where someone like him can become misunderstood. I just don't understand, again, where we get these ideas that Shedeur is either this awful, terrible person, XYZ. And I'm going to do a video on the main channel kind of about how the media perception just kind of overrides everything. But that's what it sounds like. It sounds like somebody knew that was a lie that they thought they could get off. Maybe he said something interesting because you hear someone like this and you hear the way that, hey, I need to learn about these things. This is where I'm developing just to be able to be constantly, have this self-accountability throughout all this situation. When people constantly say he has no self-accountability, they want to attack these different things. And I see somebody who's really attacking and addressing and accepting some of the shortcomings while, really being grateful for some of the growth that he's being made too.
No matter who's played quarterback this year for the Browns, every game there's been maybe one, maybe two really good series, and that's about it. What's preventing the offense from being more consistent?
I'm not sure. That's on everybody what they want to speculate and whatever they think. You know, I don't think that's something I could think about.
How much of you guys, your Hungry Dogs, how much of you and your Hungry Dogs kind of grown up together over these last 6 starts and really kind of gone out there and shined in some of the situations?
I say whenever everybody get the opportunity, they're excited for it, so they're ready to get out there and do their thing.
What makes this team want to fight so hard for Coach Stefanski in these final games, with speculation about his job? Just seems like you guys are all on board fighting.
Yeah, I don't think we listen to the external stuff. I don't think he's our coach. Like we view him as the same as we view him the first week. We got the utmost respect for him, and I think that's more media stuff. That's more outside noise than knowing. I mean, half of us don't know if we're gonna be here next year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we don't really look at that. We play for the franchise. We play for our coaches. We play for the names on the front and back of our jerseys. So it's like it's more than just like stuff that's just online.
Do you find it easy to block out that sort of stuff, or is that something you've had to learn how to do?
No, I think the pressure and attention, everything been on me since I was a kid, since I was born. So it's like it's just another year of it. But it doesn't change anything within my own process.
What's Kevin meant to you in your rookie season as far as development? Like early in the year, there was all that nonsense about what your relationship may or may not be and things like that. But what's he meant to you and helping you grow here?
Yeah, I say I'm truly thankful. I'm thankful that I was able to come here. I'm thankful that I do have a relationship with all the coaches. And I'm thankful that just being evolving from day one, evolving from being a Hungry Dog to now, like it's exciting, and sometimes I think about those days, so I don't take anything for granted. I think overall the communication with the coaches and everything been really good, and I'm just thankful to just be here in general.
Hey man, I just see a lot of humility. I see a lot of gratefulness. I would think that this awful, terrible person that would make fun of a man for losing his wife, like again, specifically, I'm not saying that he probably said something about that, but the putting this intentionality of him just your wife left you for a trainer, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's what it was. Maybe it was a poor joke, maybe it was a misplacement, maybe it was a longer idea in which he said something like that. But this is the same person that they want to take out of context. They want you to think that what he's saying has ill intention, when if you fully listen to it and fully look at the actions, look at the way that he said things consistently, the humility, the accountability, the way that he continues to protect people like Kevin Stefanski and stuff like that, and say, hey, speak positivity and light also, while still saying that, hey, I can be better and everything else. It just doesn't add up to the person that I think a lot of people want him to be, in the hateful message and hateful idea that they would appreciate for him to be. But hey, y'all know how it is. That is what it is. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did like it, if you don't, dislike it. Subscribe, like football content. We'll see you next time. Peace.